I would like to introduce our first speaker for today, and his name is Mr. Adeagbo. Mr. Paul Adeagbo is a career coach and the founder of MindShift Career Solutions. He helps young professionals get ahead in their careers so they can access opportunities to meet their goals. He understands the struggles of identifying career direction, conducting and facing job search, and strategic career planning, making informed strategic decisions about one's career path and professional development. So without further ado, I would like to welcome our first speaker for today, Mr. Paul D. Adeagbo. Mr. Paul Adeagbo, you have the floor, sir.
Good evening once again.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Michael and Mr. Adeagbo. Thank you very much for leading this platform. I believe you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can.
I need the feedback. I just want to know if you can hear me. Okay. Thank you very much. I do not take this for granted. And please, so for the sake of time, let's quickly get into this conversation. This conversation is a very interesting topic, and it's a topic that is dear to my heart. And then immediately I saw what Cliq2Access was doing, I jumped on it because just a time to pour my heart out so that we can start thinking global opportunities. And this is me here. So what's the topic about? If you ask me, I will recoin the topic. Although there is nothing wrong with that topic, there's absolutely nothing wrong. But I'm just saying it in a way of required preparations for global opportunity. Their timeline, especially Facebook and LinkedIn, you will see that I'm global opportunities, and then I also talk about the required preparation. So at the time, I believe I had one or two persons introduce themselves, so which actually means that in one way or the other, everyone listening on this call are professionals. I don't like to see people who just define themselves as students. Yeah, you are a student of, maybe you're a student of FUTA, just like I had somebody introduce himself as one. Yes, you're a student, but you are also a professional because you are gathering some knowledge and experience in that field. So you are a professional according to my school of thought. What am I trying to say? Everyone on this call is a professional. So now, as a professional, what are the required preparations you need to have in taking on global opportunities? First of all, you need to know that you are a professional. Until you see yourself as a professional, you'll be misbehaving up and down. Until you see yourself as a professional, you will just think you are all that there is. I am just an undergraduate. ASU is showing me paper and there is nothing I can do about it. No, I need you to first of all see yourself as a young professional. Yes, ASU is going on. For those who know about the industrial action going on in Nigeria to the government institutions, yes, that's happening, but you are a young professional. So because you are a young professional, you are not wasting time doing nothing. You are not wasting time saying there is nothing I can do about it. So the first required preparation for this is to first see yourself as a professional. Until you do that, every other thing I'm going to be mentioning, you are going to see them as something you should be doing when you graduate from the institution. No, I want you to start seeing yourself as a young professional. Now, I don't know how old my listeners are, but regardless of your age, I don't want you to see yourself as a victim of Nigerian situations, because across the world, There are people who are younger than you are, who are making global, who are giving global solutions. While I don't want you to feel inferior, or I don't want you to feel like there is nothing I can do any longer, I just said that to say that not minding your age, not minding the Nigerian situation, people who are younger than you are, people who are of your age, who you guys are in the same age bracket, are making global solutions. So don't see yourself as an undergraduate. I want you to change the lens that you see yourself. You are a young professional. You are more than just an undergraduate. You are a young professional. So in the light of this, now that you have changed your perspective about yourself, of course, we are talking about global opportunities, just like Daddy J.O., a very revered coach of mine, John Obidi, just like he always say to us and say to everyone who is on Start Africa, get your international passport. Now, there is something that we do to you. You might be thinking, no, why should I get an international passport? You need to get an international passport because once the opportunity comes, it's almost too late to get the international passport. In case you don't know, it will take you at least 3 months in Nigeria to get your passport. At least 3 months. Some opportunities cannot wait that long. You don't want to miss your chance. Get it. Or get on the process. It's going to cost you money. That's the fact that you'll be applying for it on Monday. It's a Nigerian thing. You don't want to use Nigerian story as the reason why you could not get that opportunity you are applying for, because certain opportunities will ask you if you have an international passport. The countries of the world where you are trying to get those opportunities from don't know the problem we are facing as a country. They don't know that it has to take you 3 months to get your international passport. For them to get their own passport, it will take them about 30 or an hour in the immigration office to get their passport. So you don't want to miss your chances because of the Nigerian story. Do you get what I'm saying? That may be looking like, why should I get my passport? Does that have anything to do with my skills or my abilities or my knowledge? I'm trying to say that let's fix the Nigerian problem you and I cannot take away first. That's pretty important before we now jump on the strategies. Anyways, I started giving you the strategies, the required preparations to winning global opportunities. Number one, I said, first of all, recognize that you are a professional, not what the labor market says you are, not what the society says you are. You are an undergraduate. That's the definition of the society, but you are a young professional. You are an employee. That's the definition of a certain people. You are a professional. You are a solopreneur, as we call it. No, I don't want you to see. Yes, you are a solopreneur. That's true. That's fine. I don't have issues with that. But I want you to see, regardless of what you do, you are a professional. I also said you should get your international passport. Another thing I want you to do is to refine your communication. So many people don't know the difference between American English and British English. You don't know the difference. So you speak British in one sentence and it skills. You need to know how to pronounce. You need to know how to elocution, pronunciation. Those things are pretty important, so that when you are talking to an American and he can see from your accent that you are speaking some bits of American English, just when he thought he can flow with what you are saying, you have switched back to some British English with Yoruba accent. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but it means a lot. You need to refine your communication skill. It's pretty important. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, I am aware that I'm speaking to you with American English. Although I know you can still feel some vibe of the Nigerian accent. They don't have issues with your accent, because you really can't take away your accent until you do some serious work on yourself. While you are doing the serious work to reduce your accent, start speaking fluently with the knowledge of the English you are speaking. You think that is not important because communication transcends more than just verbal communication. It's also seen in written communication. So you want to take your writing seriously. These are things you need to take seriously. Writing, communication, verbal communication. These are your communication skills. Because when those opportunities show up, they want to see your track record. Some of them will visit your social media timeline to see the things you've been doing. So they want to see that, oh, he has some bit of sense. He has some bit of knowledge of the language that we speak. So when they are coming through your timeline, they are not just looking for you being intelligent. They are also coming to look for your knowledge of English language. When I speak of opportunities, I speak of certain opportunities like Mandela Washington Fellowship, Yali, opportunities like scholarships, opportunities that come in form of teaching assistantship, research assistantship, fellowships, grants, whatever it is, even employment opportunities. Because of the world we live in today, we now have remote job options. They know that Africa have quality tech talent, and maybe you are in that category. You want to position yourself as one who can speak that language, who can speak it in writing, and who can speak it verbally. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but I need you to refine your communication skill. Stop getting too much emotional about your tribe. Yes, I know you are Igbo. I know you are Hausa. I know you are Yoruba. Whatever it is, I know. I just mentioned the major tribes in Nigeria, and if we have somebody who is emotional about their tribe and culture, I don't need you to do that. You are a global entity. You are a global entity. You are not a local breed. You are not a local fellow. You are a global entity. If I was speaking if I was speaking in church, I know the passages of the scriptures to quote to remind you that you're a global entity. But nonetheless, the Christians among us should be able to relate. From the book of Genesis, chapter 1, God said He wants us to dominate the earth. So from there, you are not to dominate Nigeria, you are not to dominate Lagos, not to dominate Akure. No, you are to dominate the world. The Bible says even in Matthew, this is not me trying to quote Bible or trying to preach. I'm just telling you what I know. Matthew chapter 5, you are the light of the world, not the light of Africa, not the light of your father's house. You are the light of the world. That's to show you some global perspective that God is thinking about you. Just be sounding like one boy from Akure. You don't want to be sounding like one boy that Americans will be looking at you and be like, what is he saying? Is he still speaking English? Because I don't understand that English he's speaking. Do you understand what I'm saying? I believe you do. So now another thing about aside communication is that you want to get into global conversations. Global conversations. It's pretty important to get into global conversations because you don't want to be speaking facts that we know here in Nigeria. You don't want to go and be saying Omo when you are giving the stage to speak. You don't want to be saying Kokoke, I like plenty gone. You understand all of those things? Those are facts. Those are things that are only known by Nigeria. You don't want to get on international platforms and be disgracing your generations. Like, what's the current fad we are currently using now? What else have we seen in Nigeria? When it comes to the use of fads, I'm not current. But I believe the examples I just cited are enough to show you. Okay, God, I beg. You don't want to get on international platforms and be saying, God, I beg. No, you want to You want on my timeline some days ago, I was sharing the fact that some of us need to start. OT I'm seeing another one. OT is the current one. This is my first time seeing it. I don't know when it came to be, but then I am just saying. So you don't want to get on that platform and be doing such. Now, do you get what I'm saying? I believe you do. So in the light of this, start thinking. I was talking about True Talks with Tolu, somebody, and this one that the wives of the Mount Zion drama ministers are talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I honor and respect what they do, that the name of their YouTube channel is True Talk with Ted. That is not the one I'm talking about. The one I'm talking about is TED Talks. When that speech is delivered in the headquarters, it is called TED Talk. But when it is delivered across the world, any part of the world, it is called TEDx Talks. You want to listen to great minds. You want to see the way they speak. You want to see the way they communicate. You want to see the way they use the way they express themselves in words, in signs, non-verbally, and a host of other things. And beyond that, you want to be current. You don't want to be talking something that the world has. You don't want. Now, just as an example, I was making a research some days ago, and I found out that big data became the world's discussion in 2005. The world started talking about 2005. Big data in Nigeria started as at 2018 or so. So you don't want to get on. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that you don't want to get on global platforms, global conversations, and you're talking about something they have discussed 10 years ago and they have moved on. You want to be current. Get into global conversations. How do you do that? Take global courses. MO professional in your field, but you don't know what US is doing about that skill. Get international certifications. Get global certifications. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. Get those opportunities. If you need to do them because those things are pretty important. You don't want to miss out on all of those things. And most importantly, I want to end on these conversations as you are learning, as you're embarking on what you do. I don't know what you do. Maybe you're a social impact driver, a social impact leader, or you are an entrepreneur, or you are, I don't know what you do. Regardless of what you do, I want you to start documenting your stories. Document your stories. As a volunteer, document your stories. As a leader, document your story. As you are solving those seemingly little problems in your community, in your class, in your church, document those stories. Put them on social media, because once those opportunities you are chasing for come, most of them want to see that you are a person of track record. You are not just somebody who wants to use that opportunity to enjoy their money and travel to the US or travel to Canada or travel to the UK. They want to see that you have a track record. Document your stories. Share them on social media. Document your stories. Even when you are not ready to share them on social media, document your stories. This is pretty important. Let me give this, I'm rounding up now because of time, but let me give this as a bonus. I have some of my stories that I have used as a medium to one story. There is a story of mine that I know. I have used that story to get several opportunities. I just revamp the story. Revamp it. And you know the funniest thing about this story? I wrote this story as an undergraduate and applied for an opportunity in Italy. It didn't come true for me, so I abandoned the story and graduated. But then, in 2021, yes, I looked at that story again and rewrote the story with a better perspective that I have and some writing classes that I've taken. I wrote the story. I got the opportunity I wanted out of that. I used the same story. I got another opportunity. Now I have used the same story to apply for another opportunity. What am I trying to say? If I never documented that story, I don't know if there will be anything I'll be using right now. Document your story. It's not whether it will win or not, no problem. Document it, keep it, write it, revamp it, share it, let people see it, let the world celebrate you. Don't forget, let's know, because certain opportunities are looking for people with track record. Thank you very much, Mr. Michael and Mr. Adeagbo. But I'm sorry about the pronunciation of your surname. Please forgive me. But I truly, genuinely celebrate you. Thank you very much. This is just me trying to make a good use of the time given to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adeagbo. Really enjoyed your session. So we'll be asking questions and you will be answering our questions shortly. But I quickly want to point out some of the few points I jotted here from what Mr. Adeagbo has said. So he said here that document your stories as you are achieving things in all areas and share on social media. Share your stories as you are achieving them. Those little achievements, try to share them on social media. And again, he said that we are a global entity. We are a global entity. And again, he said improve on your communication skills. Yeah, he talked about improving our communication skills. We should avoid using understand now Nigerian slang on international platforms. Yeah, so we'll be opening the floor for questions. And if you have questions that you want to ask Mr. Adeagbo, it will be for 10 minutes, 5 minutes. We will give room for questions. So Mr. Adeagbo will answer them. Do you have questions? Any question for Mr. Adeagbo?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, sir. Kindly ask your question.
Okay, good morning, sir. Thank you for the awesome presentation. And I have a question here. You said we should take writing and verbal communication seriously. And in your speech, you said that we should, I think, how I got it, that we should know how to communicate and how to write based on our own profession. Now, my question is this. Now, should we, as an undergraduate, maybe 100 level student or 200 level student, should we try to learn our profession first, understand the concept before learning how to communicate it out, how to express ourselves? If you know something, you can play with it. If you know something very well, you can play with it and express it in any form. Should we learn the communication first before learning the concept, or learn the concept before learning the communication? Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Yeah, the simple answer is that you can start improving on your communication while you are learning what you're doing. We can actually segment our learnings. I can decide to take some classes on accent reduction, or let's say polishing my grammar, the use of my grammar. In fact, refining your communication skills is not as important. It's not as difficult as the way it sounded. For you to polish your grammar, it means maybe you need to start reading more books, and which means that you want to apportion maybe 30 minutes of every day to read it. Do you get?
Yes,
sir. That the process has started already for you. So that's it. It's not as complicated as the way it sounded, but it's pretty important. So you can do that. Pari passu, you can do that.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Any other question for Mr. Adeagbo before we proceed?
So I would like to ask a question. So apart from books, is there another means one can improve on his or her grammar?
Apart from books, you can watch videos, like I said, TED Talks. You can read magazines, international magazines. A whole lot of things can be done aside reading books. Like, the truth of the matter is, the more you listen to somebody who speaks refined English, the more it tells on you. Part of the thing I do for myself is that the movies, I'm not a movie type, but I ensure that because I want to learn, when I want to watch movies, I watch American movies because I like to speak American English. So it's not difficult for me to take the fun to learn and to do a whole lot of things. So when I hear a new word or I hear the way they speak certain words that I'm familiar with, but I'm pronouncing the wrong way, I pause and learn. Like, for example, the English word, the way Nigerians pronounce learn is learn. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Learn. So when I'm watching a movie, listening to them, I hear them pronounce it as learn. The word we pronounce as vineyard, I hear them pronounce it as vineyard. I hear them pronounce it as pronunciation. That is just reading will give you grammar, but watching videos will help you to pronounce those words well. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I
so
do.
different strokes for different folks, but each of those folks are pretty important.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Mr. Kehinde, you can kindly ask your question.
I've asked my question.
Okay. Okay, yeah. About Mr. Adeagbo, if you really want to feel confident with your professional future as well as equip yourself with needed documents, then Paul is the guy you want to work with. He has spent more than 5 years assessing students with career navigation, assisting students with career navigations with proven records. He has clients beyond the shores of my own country, Nigeria. He is the author of Why Your CV Gets Trashed, a book that delineates several mistakes that can cost you professional opportunities on your CV. A speaker, he has spoken on several platforms, including the Pan-African Youth Conference, inspiring individuals to live out their fullest potential and achieve their loftiest goal. Aside from speaking, he has more prepared medium of communication, which is writing. So we'll be sharing Mr. Adeagbo link in the comment section. So do well to connect with him on his social media platform. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Adeagbo, for your time, sir. Really appreciate you, sir.